Today I'm going to do the Monster-a-thon tag, which was created by Chapter Kate. This is sort of a tag that she's created for other people to find recommendations for her month-long read-a-thon of a monster-thon, where there is going to be 3 teams, which is the beasts, the haunts, and the conspiracies. So this follows some of the prompts that will be the reading challenge prompts, but sort of on the basis of books that you've read. Get into it. The first one is Classic Creeper. So it's like any book that contains a classic horror monster, such as like a werewolf, a vampire, a zombie. And she said that it doesn't have to be a classic, but I actually went with the classic, which is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I'm hoping. So basically it follows a doctor that gathers a whole bunch of body parts and creates a being, a life, and then it's someone basically telling their story and then the monster within the story telling their story. So that's what I would use in a Classic Creeper. And then the next one is What Big Eyes You Have. So it's a book that has over 400 pages, and I went with one of my favourites. It's also quite convenient because the conclusion of the trilogy comes out in September, which is Nevernight by J. Christoph, which follows Mia Corvette, who goes to an assassin school to learn to assassinate, hone her skills in assassination, to basically get back at all the people that helped murder her family. Chimera, which is a multiple classification story. Genre. So it's a book that can be classified in many genres, is a chimera. And I went with Release by Patrick Ness. I enjoyed it. I got confused a bit by that, however, because it follows 2 different storylines. So there's a sort of fantastical storyline being followed as you follow murder victim who has come back to life, I believe, and her sort of servant, and then just a contemporary story of boy going through life just as they go off for college. So there's 2 different storylines, 2 different genres going through this book at the same time. And then Monstrous Humans. I've read an account of, it's called The Lost Girls, the true story of the Cleveland kidnappings by John Glight, a gentleman who kidnapped 3 different girls in Cleveland over a space of time, and it was basically going through them, like raping young girls. Unsightly, which is a graphic novel, comic, or manga, the monster in it. And I went with Monstrous, Volume 1, which has a sort of cyborg-esque character, fox people, so it's a science fiction-esque book, graphic novel, art style. It's been blurred by Neil Gaiman. It's set in an alternative world of Art Deco style and steampunk. It tells an epic story of a teen survivor of a cataclysmic war between humans and cyborg-esque and humans fighting, so that's good. Angry Mob, which is multiple different recommendations, and I know this one comes up, but it is one of my all-time favourite books, which is also can fit into What Big Eyes You Have, and that's Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is the second in the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. So you follow Feyre after the events of the first one. And then we move on to Sacrifice, which is a book that you found on someone's unhaul list. This was my first time. I enjoyed it, but it has come up on a couple of different people's unhaul lists, which is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. Yeah, Cassidy Blake family are ghost hunters, and Edinburgh, the City of Ghosts, going through like their haunted places and stuff, and then you follow some stories on. Beast, which is a monster with plant or animal traits. This kind of clicked in with a quote that popped into my head from Leigh Bardugo, which goes, "Not all monsters do monstrous things," and that would be Batman's Arkham Poison Ivy. So she was a doctor with a unique fascination of botany and toxicology. Goes through an accident and then comes one with plants and stuff, so she has quite a ability to create pheromones and make men her slaves. So she uses the traits of plants to do her bidding within herself. Haunts, which deals with a dead or undead monster. And I have chosen, not so much monsters, but it does come into Magnus Chase, the Sword of Summer, because there are some monstrous things happening. Hela, who is the goddess of the underground, and some deadly creatures. But it also goes through the death and basically Magnus Chase. You start off with Valhalla. So a lot of characters in here are undead or dead. Yeah, so basically your main character the entire way through this book is dead. Yeah, we'll go on with that. And then we go to Conspiracies, which deals with an alien or a Roblox science fiction character. And I have gone with I Am Number 4 by Hikoto's Law. 2 alien races and one of them's come to Earth to hide. Well, 9 of them were sent and they're being killed off in order. And we follow the 4th one because I Am Number 4 in this one where... And then the aliens that are trying to kill them all come to Earth. So it's basically a battle. So this has been the Monster-a-thon tag. So if any of these sound good or you want to just talk to me a bit more about them, or you have recommendations for me about certain different tags, like different books that fit the same prompts that I might be able to use in my TBR for next month, please let me know on Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads. They'll all be linked below. And I'd like to thank Kate from A Captive Chat. So let's help build the pack of the world into a better, healthier place. Thank you and goodbye!